Good morning everybody, welcome to a rather damp and drizzly River Wye. I'm sure you can see over my shoulder. I'm sure you can probably see this big beach area as well, which indicates the Wye has not come up from this recent rain we've been having, although I am expecting it to come up today. But bearing in mind that it's low, I fancy doing some trotting again, and I've come to the stretch where I fished and had that fantastic session a couple of weeks ago now, a couple of videos ago. Yeah, looking forward to having a go again in here. I can't imagine we'll have a session quite like that again, but it'd be nice to catch a few fish, certainly Barbel Chub, hopefully, on the float. That's the plan. Just quickly run you through the gear. I'll put all the information about all the gear I use down in the description down there, but just quickly run you through it. I've got my Daiwa Tournament Pro 15-foot rod here, coupled with a Garcia 506 Mark II close face reel. Drake alloy stem stick float on there. This is a 4 gram. And to cock that, I've just got a 4 gram Olivette there, stopped between a couple of Grippa stops. Quick change Hooklink swivel. And on the pointy end, we've got a Drennan wide Gape specialist hook there in size 10. Simple as that. Now I've put my bait caddy waiter thing out in the river. Been putting a bit of bait in for 10 or 15 minutes. I actually got here about an hour and a half ago, but it's been banging it down with the rain. So I hid in the car, I have to say. But it's due to stop fairly shortly. That was the reason I hid in the car, to be honest. I thought there's no point getting soaked if it's only for an hour. Still waterproofed up at the moment. It is still drizzling. I think we'll ferry some gear out there, take the landing net and bits and pieces out there, and then we'll run you through the baits when we get over to the bait waiter, and then we'll get fishing. So guys, here we are in the river. I'll just run you through my baits that I keep on this, as I say, this bait waiter, which I've had kicking around in my shed. I bought it from a tackle shop about 10 years ago. I thought that looks useful, and I've never used it since, till a few weeks ago. But it's very useful for this sort of thing. And what you can see here is loose feed, mixture of sizes and flavours of pellets. There's the odd 8mm in there, but mostly 6mm down to sort of 2.3mm. There's sort of krill, cheesy garlic, halibut pellets, just a mixture of everything. The idea of that is I don't want the fish to get preoccupied on any particular size of bait or flavour of bait even. And of course we can put some of these on the hook should we wish. We can band them and put them on the hook. Got good old hemp, as you well imagine. As I said, the mainstay of my feed today is going to be luncheon meat. This is not any old luncheon meat. This is some of Dynamite Bait's new garlic luncheon meat, and it absolutely stinks. The nice people at Dynamite have sent me some to try, so I thought I'd give it a try out. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fantastic. You saw the videos last year. I was using some of their oozing luncheon meat. They were kind enough to send me some to try, and I did suggest at the time, this was last summer, I said, I think you're missing a trick, because Spam no longer do garlic luncheon meat, and there's a big hole in the market for some garlic luncheon meat. And they sort of said, watch this space, and fair play to them, good to their word. They've produced some, so that's fantastic. So first time I'm going to give it a go today. The only other thing I've got in here, useful things, obviously disgorger, a winder with lots of Hooklinks on, because it's very snaggy in here, may well lose some Hooklinks, and my net clipped onto the side, and that's it. Right, I think that's probably enough waffle, isn't it? Let's get some of this very whiffy luncheon meat on. Now, despite the fantastic session I had here the other week, it can be a bit patchy in here, so we'll see what's going to happen. Can go for hours and hours on end without a bite, and all of a sudden you get a bite every single run through. So we'll see. Well, we're on. Had a funny little knock. The reel went a bit funny. I think we've got the first fish on. Well, we have got the first fish on. I think it's a chub. It's doing the very chubby running along the inside. Just deepening off just 6 inches has did the trick straight away. It's heading behind me. Sure, it's a chub. Oh, it is a decent one as well. Now I'm stood in water that's more than knee deep, so what I should do is pick a lot of these fish out of the water. Well, that'll do me. Second run through. First run through at decent depth. And blimey, what a scrap off a chub. Does look a decent one though, to be fair. I'm just trying to get around my feet. It's actually just swam into my leg. Come on. God, what a fish that is. First cast. Wonderful. Just nicked in the side of the mouth there. That's fantastic. Oh, I'm well pleased with that. My first fish on the garlic meat. Knew it would be a winner, to be honest. There we go. Oh, how did I miss that? Oh, the unmissable bites that you miss. Just inching this through. I think I'm a little bit too deep, to be honest. And I'm just inching it through. By that I mean I'm holding the line back with my finger and just letting the rod go through, but slower than the current. Well, once again, it looks like it's going to be a very busy day, so I'm not going to be putting all the fish in. Oh, certainly getting lots and lots of bites in here. So yes, won't be putting all the fish in, which is a shame. I'd like to show all the fish in the videos, but yeah, it's going to be far too many in this video again, I'm sure. Although never count your chickens. God, this is lively. Go around in circles. Now, if you've not seen the video when I was here last, you do tend to catch some smaller barbel in this stretch as well, which is lovely for the future. And sometimes can fool you. You think you've got a chub on, and it ends up being a small barbel. I do think this is a chub. I think it's going quite crazy enough to be a barbel, small barbel, but maybe it is. I've not seen it yet. I've seen a bit of colour. I think it is fighting too hard to be a chub, actually, thinking about it. I think it's one of these small barbel. It is. It's one of these little barbel. Come on. It's great to see small fish in the river. God, blimey. Is he about a pound? Give me a right beating. Now you will see me, like I just did then, although it's a bit early, but you'll see me checking over my shoulder up regularly in this video for canoes. It's a bit early yet, but there'll be plenty of canoes, and I'm stood literally halfway across the river, if not a little bit more. We want them to go around that way, so be directing the traffic later. These fellas always, as soon as you put your hands on them, they go nuts. Like a bar of soap, like a little tench. There we go. Quick look at for the camera. That's wonderful. Another quick look before we put him back. Fab. I've set myself up in, as I say, the water's just over knee deep here, so there's not going to be any danger in holding a fish up. If they flip, they're just going to go back. No problem. Well, as you can see, I've given in. I've got to put my coat on. It's just still drizzling, but it's actually gone a bit colder. Well, I have anyway, certainly. Just working on the depth at the moment. Because it shallows up about, I don't know, 20, 25 metres downstream. I'm struggling to get it to run through. So I'm just shallowing up a little bit. Because no matter how hard I hold it back, it's still pulling under. So I'm just working on the depth, really. trying to get it to go through. Still dragging under a bit. Try and tease it through. That's got through that time. A little bit of teasing. Well, got it to run through, and after a few goes, we've actually into a fish. And this feels barbly. It's just old in there. Oh, and it's off. Yeah, this is not a chub. Well, yeah, we finally got it to run through. And it appears we're connected to a decent fish. Done nothing but give line so far. God blimey. Well, it could be here for some time, I think. It's just stalemate at the moment. Got it a bit back. Oh, we're winning a bit now. I think more to do with the fact that he's swimming upstream, I think. God, power and that flow. It doesn't feel a huge fish either. I'm much more dogged when they get to sort of 7-8 pound. They just sort of clamp to the bottom. This is giving me a proper pull around now. Taking me on a tour of the swim. Yeah, it's definitely barbel. I think we knew that. Just seen it. God, what a scrap. Oh, it's not a bad one. No, I'm not going to reach for this net prematurely because I'm sure he's going to make us look a fool if we do. There we are. Right. Perhaps we'll get him now. Looks to be done. But as usual with barbel, see the net and they're off. Come on. Oh, I got him. Just about. The current in here pushes your mesh of the landing net inside out when you're waiting for the fish. Oh, he's a nice one. Wonderful. He had a bit of a rest, so he's very lively. Hopefully we'll get to have a look at him. How's about that? Wonderful stuff. That's a great start. Fantastic. Right. Straight back. And yeah, that bite was a long way down. I do think they sit down there. Oh, what's this? Once again, feels like we got the bottom. I'm not sure it isn't, to be honest. No, it isn't. Just felt a little shake. Cool. Well, I think we know what this is. This feels like a reasonable fish. It's just very slow movements. It's not racing about. It's very slow, deliberate movements. But then we are sort of gaining on it. It's telling us me that perhaps it's not a monster. Then like that, it feels like it's snagged up. It just went solid. We've got him up in this gully. Just keeping the pressure on, keeping away from that tree. Wow. That's what we come for though, isn't it? Scraps like this. What a fight. I've not even seen the float yet, let alone the fish. Just holding in that fast water. Bit of a battle of attrition. And it just goes solid. I can see the float. God, it's just hanging in that fast water. See a bit of colour. It's a nice fish, but I think we knew that already. Right, are you done? I don't think so. No. Since I reached for the net. That's, I don't think he's far off. No, one look at the net and he's got a second wind. Come on. Got him. Oh, inside that mesh again. Now that's a lovely fish. Oh, cute. Right, we'll have a quick look. That's a clunking fish. Absolutely wonderful. Brilliant. I'm very pleased with that. That's fab. Right, let's get him straight back. Certainly an 8-pounder that one. Revived in the net and he's off. Fantastic. Nice to have a few more of those, wouldn't it? Sprinkled throughout the day. Yeah, very noticeable that both the bigger barbel have been on quite a way down. One of those, another one of those unmissable bites. So guys, a bit of an update. It's gone very, very quiet. I've not had a bite for certainly an hour, I think. Not even off a chub or anything. It's gone a bit cold as well, as you can tell. Put my jumper on. The water's come up a couple of inches while I've been here, and I'm sure it's a lot colder than the water that's in the river already, because the water that's in the river already obviously has been through this heat wave that we've been having and the hot weather. I'm sure it's put the water temperature down, and it seems to have absolutely killed the sport. So I checked the gauge before I left home this morning just to see what height it was, and it hadn't moved for several days, and it's certainly moved today. I can tell already. But you never know, it's fishing. They can suddenly switch on again, couldn't they? You don't really know what to do about feeding. I mean, if you're not getting bites, you don't want to keep throwing it in. But if you don't keep throwing it in, he's probably not going to get any bites. Catch 22, isn't it? I think the only thing to do is to keep feeding. Oh, we're in, I think. Oh, hello. We are in. It's our first bite for quite a while. And it feels like I've got the bottom, but I haven't because it's moving. It's a bit of stalemate at the moment. There we go, we made a bit on him. Well, it's been a long time coming, this bite. He's sort of giving up a bit now. Staying deep though, so I think it's a barbel. Oh, blimey. I think that was another barbel jumping out as well. Just holding there in the current. Just pin themselves to the bottom, don't they? Not a lot you can do. Not on a £5 hook link. Feels like another reasonable fish. Well, he's just clinging to the bottom. Very dogged. Again on the garlic meat. I think he's quite done yet. And me reaching for the net, I'm sure as soon as I slide this net out, he's going to do a disappearing act again. I think. But we'll see. A nice fish. Come on. Got him. Fantastic. We'll have a quick look at him. Fantastic. Very well rested up in the net. He's very lively. Wonderful stuff. Right, fella, back you go. Well, interestingly, that was a little bit further up the run. Not too far past the tree that time. So with a bit of luck, and perhaps moving up the stretch a little bit, up my particular run here. Perhaps moving up to this feed, but it's been, I'd say, probably, yeah, a good hour. Getting on for an hour and a half since I've had a bite. So yeah, very, very glad of a bite. And especially being a lovely barbel like that as well. And I've had every fish on this meat so far. I've been trying the other baits, but they don't seem interested in pellets, hard or soft. There we go. See, that's shot away. I wonder what this is. Just held that back then. Shot away. Again, it's nothing huge. It's probably another little barbel. They probably, the shoulder of them's probably moved in onto this feed I've been chucking in. Although I haven't said that, it's coming around by my feet, so it's probably a chub. Yes, it is a chub. So it's a nice one. It's pulling back. Blimey. Blimey, it's pulling for a chub. I saw it. I'm sure it's a chub. It is. Oh, it's a nice one. Decent one. That's why. Come on, fella. God, he's not giving up. God, pressure on that water. Another fantastic fish. Absolutely wonderful. Just nipped in the corner there. Do struggle to unhook fish this way around. There we go. Fantastic. Well, they've woken up. Sure, I'm convinced the canoes help. Boat goes through. Stirs the fish up. And you get a bite. We've just had a couple of canoes go past. There's not many canoes today. They're saying the weather forecast was terrible, so I think lots of people decided not perhaps to go canoeing. But we just had a couple through. I think it stirs the fish up, disturbs them. And while they're moving about, they decide to have a bit of grub. Another chub, I think. I think it is anyway. Chubber. If it is, he's chubber fighting particularly hard today. Might be a little bobble actually. Making me give him line, so I think it probably is. It's not a big one though. Yeah, sort of jag, spinning around in circles. Oh, I don't know. He's enough into the shallows now. Which is the old chub trick. Cool. Whatever it is, what a scrap. This is a chub. Good one as well. A cracking stamp of chub today. May just about take the prize for the biggest of the day. Maybe. I think probably just about. Wonderful. We'll never ever tire of catching chub. Trotting the stick float. Absolutely fantastic. Well, it's gone a bit quiet again. So perhaps it's give it another 10 minutes, or perhaps go and have something to eat. My stomach's telling me it's time for some food, but I haven't said that, I just had a bite. But I did get up very early, so it may be deceiving me. What's this? This is kiting in. Feels like a chub. I think it must be a chub. It's not giving me enough grief to be a barbel. Feels like another good one though. It's certainly kiting in like a chub would. Into the shallow water. Got him. Another beautiful fish. Absolutely fantastic. Right, I'm going to call this the last run through. And we'll stop. Have a sit down, have something to eat. Rest the swim for a bit. It's gone a bit quiet. It was sort of reasonably good, and then in about an hour and a half without a bite, and then it picked back up again, and it's just sort of trickling along now really. Perhaps getting a bite maybe every 10 minutes. Something like that at the moment. So it's not a hectic sport, but it's just nice. It's nice to be able to run the float through and wonder whether or not it's going to go under. It's nice having to work a little bit for the bites. And they're still coming all the way along the stretch, really, anywhere from under that willow down there to under this willow here. You just never quite know. Right, as I say, I'm gonna call it a day at that for now. So guys, back. It's about 2 o'clock now. Had a good hour and a half break. Rest the swim. Rest my arm. Rest my back. Hopefully it'll have done some good. Been sat watching the water, and there's been fish jumping out in this gully. Be interesting to see how it compares to earlier on, whether we can get the swim going a bit more. I've not really fed in the last hour and a half, purely because, oh, there you go, first run through, look. Purely because it's a bit too far to feed from the bank, and I've had my waders off. This is a funny old, like, oh, it's a very small chub. Blimey. Very, very small one, but we've had a fish. First run through. There we are. There we go. What's this? Oh, that's a nice one. Certainly welcome back. How's about that? Well, resting the swim certainly done the trick, as it often does. He certainly wanted that. There we go. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful. Back you go, fella. There we go. Just held that back pretty hard then. And down it went. This is just holding. Oh, I'm making a bit. Wonderful. Kick. Feels like another nice fish. We are making a bit on him. He's staying very deep. Perhaps he's fooling me. Because he's come upstream, but not actually got him off the bottom yet. Oh, this is wonderful. Yeah, it looks like a nice fish. I just saw him. I think this one's going to be doing all the fighting under the rod tip because we got him in fairly easily. I'm going to dog it out under the rod tip, looks of it. Oh, blimey. One kick of that tail and he's away again. What a fantastic scrap under the rod tip. He's still not done. I think he is now. We'll risk getting the net out. No? Yes. Just about, I think. Maybe. Come on. Oh. What a scrap. Oh, the mesh is all inside out again. There we go. And the floats come all the way up the landing net handle. Wonderful. God, what a scrap again. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. Well, he's had a breather. He's very well recovered. Hopefully we can have a look at him. A quick look before he clears off. There we go. How's about that? Wonderful stuff. Another cracking fish. Fab. Right. Don't want to keep these fish out of the water any longer than necessary. Off he goes. Great stuff. So guys, I don't tend to feed luncheon meat on its own because it doesn't really sink, especially in this sort of pace of water. However, I have discovered that this dynamite garlic meat does sink quite well, and certainly will get down to where I need it to be, sort of 4 or 5 foot down fairly quickly. I assumed it would have the same buoyancy as the tin meat, but it definitely hasn't. It sinks a lot quicker than that. So I've started feeding it, you know, the offcuts and misshapes and stuff. Ooh, that snag again. But yeah, I accidentally dropped a bit in by my feet. Stupidly, it never occurred to me to see how quickly it sunk. I just assumed it would be same with the tin stuff. But it's certainly not. It does get down. So, yeah. Going to feed it. I'm sure it's going to help things along. Just feed a chunk every few minutes. Keep the pellets and the hemp and that going in, of course. Well, that disappeared straight under as soon as I cast it in. Just chugging away upstream. Doesn't feel too big, fortunately, because there's a canoe coming. God, blimey, it's off. What's this? I think it must be one of these little barbel again. right round the corner. Come on. Oh, it's not. It's a nice chub. Had me fooled then. Oh, that's cracking. God, what a lovely, another absolutely lovely chub. There we go. Fantastic. Kiting right in. Sure, this must be another chub. See, putting up a scrap though. It's tied right in and it's gone right back out into the current. Right down in that gully. It's coming back in again. It's like having a kite on. Well, if I hadn't seen that early on, I'd have thought I had a barbel on then. Cool. Right scrap. Back out in the flow again. I think he's given up now. Nope. God, what a scrap off a chub. But what a chub. That would explain it. What a lump. God, I can hardly get my hands around him. Look at the size of that. Absolute donkey. God, no wonder he put up such a scrap. Wow. What a chunk. Fantastic. God, what a fish. Oh, we've had some lovely fish today, I have to say. Just been nice, most of the day anyway, it's been nice steady sport. You know, half a dozen runs through to get a bite. It's just been a nice steady day. Really, really enjoyed it. And I think it's only about, I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock, something like that. Hello, Mr. Swan, or Mrs. Swan. I don't think I can tell the difference. God, that's a proper bite. Float absolutely buried. And then whatever it is, shot away. God. I thought it was a chub at first, but I'm not sure it is. Oh dear, it's off. I think it might be a chub. Cool. If it is, it's another cracker. It's really pulling. I don't think it can be a chub. Staying very deep. Oh. I now think it's a barbel. I don't think it's a huge one. It's a decent fish, I think. Not one of the pounders anyway that we've had today. Oh, blimey. My guess is it's about £4, because there's the ones that fight like this. Stripping line off you, then you get a bit back, they strip some more off you. He's charging around. They haven't quite got the heft of the bigger ones. So just saw a bit of colour though. It's a decent fish. It's just holding there now in that current. Oh, he looks a nice one. Certainly one you'd rather catch than not. Oh, he's off again. God, what a scrap. Well, I thought he was foul looked a minute ago, but it was round his pec, but it's not anymore. God, I've suddenly woken up. Give me an absolute beating. God, he's off again. I think he's a bit bigger than I gave him credit for. Come on, chap. Oh, he's wrapped up again. That's the problem. Right, I think he's almost done. I'll risk getting the net out. Oh, the mesh has gone all inside out. Such a pain. Oh, he's got a load of weed on him as well. I wonder what was going on. Shuffle him in. There we go. Whew. Wow, absolutely epic fight. I think we both deserve a couple of minutes rest after that. We'll get him unhooked and give him a rest in the net. God, what a scrap. Well, we'll have a quick look at him before we get him back. How's about that? Fantastic. Wonderful stuff, and what a scrap. Wow. Oh, what a session this has turned out to be. Fantastic. So guys, a bit of an update. It's about 4:30 now, 4:45. I think I'm going to give it perhaps another couple of hours. It's gone fairly quiet. I've not really had a bite for half an hour, 40 minutes. So I've just had a break for 10 or 15 minutes. Just let the swim rest for a minute. Just had a drink and stuff. One last push, I think, as I say, for a couple of hours. See if we can't wiggle out a few more nice chub and barbel. But whatever happens, we had a cracking day. Really, really enjoyable days fishing again down here on the Y. I certainly never get tired of running that float through, seeing it disappear under and never knowing whether it's going to be a £1 chub or a £10 barbel. Something's leaping out. I just get the impression today the fish are not quite feeding with full intensity. They just don't seem too interested. He says, gets a point straight away. Oh, what's this? Commentator's curse, isn't it, that? I think it's a chub. Oh, it feels a decent one. I'm not sure now. Sort of got him into a point and he's not coming any further. There's the float. Oh, blimey. Now I'm just starting to think perhaps it's not a chub. I don't know why I bother guessing, I usually get it wrong. No, it looks like a barbel. Certainly is. Ooh, he's off again. He's off again. Cool. And a strange old fight. Sort of gives in and then takes a bit more, gives in again. Fools me into thinking he's coming ready for the net, and he's certainly not. Wow. Oh, this is absolutely wonderful. What a wonderful day's fishing. Are we ready? I think we are. Looks like it. Nope. One whiff of the net and he's off. Come on. One last objection and he's in. Wonderful. Cool, this one's really lively. I'll have a quick look at him now. Hopefully, anyway. It's about that. Wonderful. Lovely fresh fish. What a scrap. Well, I thought at the bottom. I did. I have got the bottom. No, I haven't. It's moving. Well, this is very strange. Like a funny bite. It's definitely a fish. A very funny bite. I went down to it and it was all slack. I must have grabbed the bait and swam directly upstream. Blimey. This is no small fish. Just in that current down there, with that white water you can see. It's just holding. Yeah, what a strange old bite. The float went, I struck and didn't connect with anything. It's just like there was loads of slack line out, which would appear there was. It seems to have grabbed the bait, as I say, and swam up towards me. It's not wanting to come this way at the moment. God blimey. Right for canoes, yeah. Just sort of holding station in the current, just gently moving side to side. It's just plodding like a decent fish, to be honest. It's just not doing a lot, and I can't do a lot with it. Well, it's going in a bit now. A bit easier. Still feels like a heavy weight though. It's not pulling back at all. God, some stuff jumping. Little barbel, I think. Yeah, it's been led in at the moment. Barely fighting, just heavy weight. It's certainly a fish. I can feel it occasionally thumping like that. Yeah. As soon as I reach for the landing net, he's off. I think he's done. Blimey. It's been very well behaved. Coming to the net for us. Right, we'll attempt to have a look at him. As I say, he is absolutely going crazy. He's very, very annoyed, this one. We'll try and have a quick look. How's about that? Fabulous. He's very angry. Right, we're getting back. Very, very angry. Cracking. Off he goes. Blimey, what's this? God, it's off. Whatever it is, it's off. A chub, I would think, judging by the fact that it's trying to get in the trees. It's the first bite I've had up in this gully for quite a long time. It is a chub, a nice one too. Wow, what a day. What an awesome day. Oh, the clunking fish. Oh, he hasn't quite got the girth. Beautiful condition. There we go. Well, this bite's been a long time coming. What is this? I thought it was a chub at first. I think it is. I think there's some weed down there and they keep getting stuck in it and fooling me. Just thinking they're bigger than they are. This doesn't feel particularly big. Yeah, I think it can get snagged up in weed. Perhaps it's one of those little barbel. Certainly not a big one. I think it is one of those little barbel. Feisty little barbel. God blimey. Off. Perhaps he's not so little. Blimey. Came in really easily, now it's giving me a right beating. God. Now I'm starting to think it's chub because it's trying to get under that tree. If it's a chub, it's a good one. God. Suddenly turned into a decent fish. I think it is a barbel. God blimey. Oh, God, that made me jump. Another one leaping out of the water. It is a barbel. No monster, but no tiddler either. God. It's been a long time coming, this bite. So I think I might call this the last fish He's no monster, but a very nice one. Is he ready? That's the question. Nope. Blimey. There's no one to give in. Come on, you. No, it's done. Lovely job. Fab. Wonderful stuff. That's cracking. There he is. Fantastic. Another beautiful white barbel. Wonderful stuff. What a fantastic scrap as well. Done. Fab. There we go. I know I said I was going to make the last fish, my last fish probably, but I couldn't resist the cast or two. So it's coming in fairly easily. For now. They have a habit of doing this, don't they? Give me a beating when they get up here. Feels a similar sized fish. No canoes. It's far too late for canoes, I think. He's away. I think it was a barbel. It's in the. Oh, I just have. Yes, it is a barbel. Not a big one, but very welcome. Wonderful. Gosh, doing all this fighting under the rod tip again. I like coming in easily today and beating me up under the rod tip. Another spirited 3 or 4 pounder by the looks of it. God, comes to the top, has one look at me and he's off. He's like, no thanks, mate. I think he's done. Maybe not. There we go. Get this net doubly extended. See if we can sneak him in this time. God, he's doing everything to avoid it. Come on. Gotcha. Well, glad I stayed for a last cast. Well, perhaps we'll give it a few more minutes if they've come back onto the feed. May just be these light levels dropping that have done it. As I say, another spirited youngster. Hopefully he'll let us hold him up. This picture taken. How's about that? Fantastic. Wonderful stuff. This has been an absolutely cracking day, I have to say. Oh, there it goes. But yeah, I think we will give it a bit longer. Sport's been very patchy today, but does seem to have picked up now, so we'll extract my hook link out of the gravel. We'll give it another few minutes. Right, that's it. I'm going to call it a day at that. It's time to lose the light properly now, and it's gone very quiet again, so I think we'll call it a day. But what a cracking day it's been. Absolutely wonderful. Really, really enjoyed that. It's been absolutely fantastic. I mean, as I think I mentioned earlier, I'm not going to be able to put all the fish in because this video will be like 3 hours long. But we'll put the bigger fish in, and the ones that are more relevant to the set, to show you what happened on the session, and to still jumping down there. Yeah, we'll put the bigger fish in and the ones that are more relevant to the session, and yeah, there will be lots missed out though, unfortunately, but like I say, the video will be far too long if we put them all in. Now, I am intending on getting out in the next few days, certainly within the next week. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed that. Thank you to Dynamite as well for the garlic luncheon meat. I did a cracking job. I'll certainly be getting myself some of that. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling when you get out there. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your fantastic support, and I'll see you all again very soon.